Hello everybody, my name is Richard Franklin. I'm the Director of Instruction at Deer Path Golf Course and here to bring you episode 1 of the Circle Systems Golf Show. I thought I'd start season 1, episode 1 with a bang. We're going to do something that everybody's interested, how to drive the ball better. Now, as most of you understand, most of you are probably afflicted with the slice. Now the slice comes from simply having a club face that's always open relative to your path. So we're going to talk about this later, that it might not be open relative to the target line, but it's always open relative to the path. So we're going to talk about today about ways the club face is getting open. It can happen in the grip, it can happen in the backswing, it can happen in the downswing. And for you poor slicers out there, it's probably happening in all three phases. So let's begin with proper grip to ensure that we don't get the face open from the get-go. So the most important thing to understand is when we get our hands on the golf club is what this left hand is doing. In particular, what we're trying to look at here is we've got the meaty part here of the thumb and kind of the meaty part right here. That's your heel pad. Now it's very important that I've got my little water pistol here, that I lay the club, hook it around here my index finger, and lay it underneath my heel pad. Now from there I can go ahead and grip my 3 fingers and make a thumbprint on what would be the right side of the shaft. This is crucially important because many of you slicers, right from the start, you've got this club laying right here in your palm. Works pretty good for a putting grip, not so good for a draw or a full swing grip. Okay, so with that out of the way, that's probably the first place that the golf club is getting open, right in your grip, right away. So what you can do is once you've checked that the heel pad is on top, you should be able to easily support the golf club just like so. Now from then, you would put this golf club right here on the tabletop and you would make sure that with a flat left hand, that club, if anything, is 10 degrees closed relative to flat left hand. If you have this toe drooping down, you're cooked right from the start. So 10 degrees closed relative to flat left hand, heel pad on top. So first phase of the golf swing with the driver, backswing. So what we're talking about here is avoiding a club face that is opening too soon. So what you could see in that first move is I had my left forearm. If I put a dowel here across my left forearm and shaft, this wedge that this makes, that has everything to do with how much the face opens. That as I go back, if I were to over rotate this wedge and now drag it back to the golf ball, I've got an open club face. So we're trying to limit how much this forearm rotates. Okay, so proper grip, making a backswing without excessive forearm rotation, just like so. Okay, now from this phase of the backswing, I'm going to give you one more little idea and just some sort of closed face insurance, if you will. That one of the best tips I have for making sure you can eradicate your slice almost in this one move, that as you start making a backswing, you're going to take your forefinger here and your thumb and you're going to feel like you twist the shaft away from you. So as you start making a turn, you're going to twist the shaft away from you. So again, proper grip, limiting how much you rotate your forearm, a little bit of an inward hand path may help that, and you're going to simply twist the club away. And you're going to be in this position that would be a little stronger than orthodox, but surely in a good position to have that club face a little closed relative to your path. Okay, so hope you're still with me here. We've covered the first part, eliminating that really open club face. Now, what can we do on the downswing to ensure that we have all the right dynamics to hit the ball plenty high with a little bit of a draw, which we're all coveting? So the slicer in this open club face, for whatever reason, we've found probably the 3 or 4 that are most common, has no choice but to deal with this open face. So him or her is going to be recruiting their right shoulder and basically all of their upper body to start getting this face to close down. This is the classic slicer's pattern because, again, they've had this open face. They have no choice but to really tumble the shaft and get on top of the golf ball with their right shoulder. We no longer have that problem. So what we're going to be thinking about from the top is starting to have this right arm straighten or drop with the right shoulder starting to get lower than the left. Now again, you can clearly see those that have had open faces in the past, if they have any kind of side bend to the right, that golf ball is going to go so far right, they're going to stop doing that in a heartbeat. But we no longer have that problem. So we have twist away to the top, and in our first move down, we're going to feel like this right arm starts to lower down, the right shoulder starts to lower down as the hips start to gently slide forward. This is going to start putting us in that really good athletic looking position to hit the inside part of the golf ball. So the last piece of the puzzle here, and hopefully this better club face and better transition is going to set you free. But what we found here, our little friend, the flight scope here, which we have at every single lesson here at Deer Path, is a Doppler radar device that is measuring the intricacies of impact. So what the flight scope is telling us is that the best drivers in the golf ball are the players that at impact are delivering somewhat of an uphill or hitting that shot somewhat on the up. So again, the slicer that had been overcommitting his right shoulder is clearly in a position where he would be hitting down on his driver. We're looking to strike this ball a little bit on the way up. So with that said, let's discuss what we're going to do in the follow through, and then we're going to hit some shots for you, and I think it's all going to come together. So from our backswing twisted away position, dropping the right shoulder, striving to hit the inside part of the golf ball. Now the key part here is how the club ascends on the way up. Just as I was discussing, the golfer that has too much angle of attack down has a club that isn't ascending fast enough on the other side. So I've got a little drill for everyone at home to try. And you can do this, you can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get yourself a driveway marker. Great way for you to feel this. So you're going to put this driveway marker onto the ground like so, and then you're going to feel like you use your hips and your spine to elevate the club. So clearly you can see I'm recruiting a different part of my body here. I'm recruiting my hips and my spine to get this club to ascend faster at a greater clip on the other side of the golf ball. That's something that slicers and poor drivers just aren't doing enough of. So I'm going to put this all together here, and I'm going to feel like, okay, once I've done all my moves to get to the inside part of the ball, I'm really going to be focusing on having my hips and spine extend quite rapidly to get this club, to get this high hands, low club finish. This is a hallmark of good drivers of the golf ball. So with that being said, that's kind of the body motion. Very, very important at home to understand that in the last phase of the downswing here, the golfer is rapidly extending both their spine and their hips. I can't stress that enough. The last little piece, again, closed face insurance, something we talked about in the backswing. We're going to want to make sure we continue to have that face closed all the way through to the finish. So I'm going to make a golf swing, and I'm going to show you what slicers are doing at home. They have this move where they've got this elbow carrying the club across this way. And you can see that that's going to promote much more of an open face delivery through the hit. So what I want everyone at home to feel like is that when they finish, that they have the butt of the club pointed back at the golf ball with this elbow in much more of an in-front attitude. Anytime this elbow gets too far left and this shaft looks horizontal to the ground, they haven't executed what I call the swivel. This feeling that at the top you're curling your palm back into your face. This is a crucial part of this high hands swivel finish. Another really great drill that I can think of to put the extension and the swivel all together is you would take this club and you would grip it kind of mid-shaft and you'd have it hugging your right hip here. Now what you're trying to do is basically mimic impact by having your hips go forward while your head stays back, and you're going to swivel the club as if there was a line coming right out here, it would point right back to the golf ball. So again, a really simple yet effective drill to promote these athletic moves that we want to ascend the club rapidly and have this club fully swivel to promote a club that is anything but open. So, good grip, good takeaway, a little bit of twist away in the backswing to help promote that closed face, right shoulder lowering, then rapidly ascending the golf club using your hips and your spine. And the last piece would be high hands, low club with a full swivel finish. Okay, so let's put that all together and see what it looks like. Okay, so what you can notice here is that the golf ball was hit. So I'm looking right here at angle of attack. So the crucial indicator there of a well-struck shot, especially with the driver for long launch, is that that's a positive number. So that means I hit 1 degree up on that driver. My club path at impact was traveling 0.6 of a degree to the right with a face angle that was just a little bit open. So relative to my path, that was only 3 degrees open. Now something you'll also learn here on the flight scope is that centerness of hit plays a big role in ultimately indicating curvature of the shot. So amongst the many numbers here, you'll see spin axis. So that certainly, that number indicates there 11 left, that ball had leftward bias spin or draw spin, something that we're all trying to achieve. An ideal spin rate, very low here. And again, swing plane, swing path, all to the right with a face that was a little bit open. So again, what I was trying to reference here is that that the leftward spin axis was more an indication of a little bit of a toe hit. There's some gear effect toe hit here that made that ball curve a little bit more left than the path and face relationship may have indicated. But certainly a low vertical swing plane, which is an indicator for everybody on verticality of the sweet spot in the last phase of the swing. Best players in the world are lowering their vertical swing plane approximately 10 degrees from standard lie angle, which is depends on the industry or depends on the manufacturer's model, but typically 55 degrees. So I lowered the vertical swing plane, something that we'll be discussing throughout the season, the importance of getting optimal vertical swing plane, and every club is a little bit different. So again, the flight scope, an amazing tool for me to help all my students with, because it helps take all the ideas and the feels and quantify them and give the golfer the absolute best chance of duplicating really good golf swings and understanding their golf swing and how to make the ball go where they want it to go. Okay folks, that wraps up episode 1 of the Circle Systems Golf Show. I hope to bring you all season long the best in golf instruction, highlighting Deer Path Golf Course. Unbelievably great facility to come work on your golf game. The flight scope, which we highlighted there in the lesson, is a great tool for all my students, and something everybody should know. You can come in, you can have the application on your smartphone, tablet device, and you can take all the information with you. I can email your results, and it's really going to go a long way to helping you understand how you can never slice again. Hope you enjoyed the information. I know 2012 is going to be the best golfing year you've had so far. Thanks so much.